All right, Dak, I got to take you back because the first time I met you was the 2013 Egg Bowl, and you came in the fourth
Mm.
quarter. You beat Ole Miss. So let's just go down memory lane and tell me what you remember about that game.
Yeah, it was an incredible game. Obviously, I didn't start the game. Was coming off of a left shoulder injury, and yeah, came in late in the game. I remember telling Coach, "Hey, I'm ready. Like I'm itching. It's time for me to go play." And he put me in, and I want to say the fourth quarter, maybe late third, and ended up leading the team to a touchdown. I tied the game up, then went in overtime, and that was huge. First time winning the Egg Bowl for me, so it was incredible.
Yeah, it was the fourth quarter, I remember.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
So since we're going down memory lane, what comes to mind when I say to you, with the 135th pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, what memories come flooding back?
Yeah, just getting that call from Coach Linehan at the time, and talking to Jerry Jones, and just being surrounded by my family, and just being excited after 3 days of waiting, and the anxiousness was at its peak, and then just for it to all go away and know that I had a home, I had somewhere where I could start to do what I love, and yeah, it's crazy going into year 6. It's crazy how time flies, but it's something I'll never forget.
Time is obviously flying, but what do you think rookie Dak Prescott would think about the man that's sitting in front of me today?
Yeah, I think he'd be blown away just by everything that's happened in the time, the way that I've changed my perspective, everything that I've dealt with, and to never have wavered, to still trust and believe in everything that I did at that time, and yeah, just the focus that I've had and I've created, getting away from the distractions and anything that could hold me back from doing exactly what I love, and just it's exciting. It's exciting to think about those times, and as I said, to head into year 6 as a better man and a better person than I was 6 months ago. So to think about 6 years ago, yeah, it's wild.
Let's talk about kind of each year. I would love to hear maybe a phrase or a word that comes to mind when you think back to each season. So 2016, 13-3, Offensive Rookie of the Year. What comes to mind?
Fantasy. That was just a wild year. Just came in running. Don't even necessarily know what hit me, and yeah, had a lot of fun and had a lot of success. But it was a fantasy year.
Let's jump to 2018. Win your first playoff game.
Yeah. When I learned really what the NFL was about, when I became a true, I'd say, NFL quarterback, and knowing how to stay within myself in the ups and the downs, not wavering within a game, trusting everything around me, knowing the defense, playing the game of chess at this position, is really when I stepped into my own at the position.
2019, you missed the playoffs, but you set the world on fire with your passing.
Yeah, it was a tough year. That was a tough year, and when I realized what it means to trust in your teammates and to have a good team and hold those guys accountable. We're so talented, but we fell short. We fell a game or two short from making the playoffs and continuing that great run that we were somewhat on statistically, but we weren't a full team. We didn't have all 22 plus special teams engaged, and it hurt us.
And then 2020 comes, and obviously you get injured, and you mentioned that even when you were on the cart, you knew it was a season-ending injury. Take me back to that moment and what's going through your mind as you recognize that your season is over.
Yeah, what am I going to do? What am I going to do in the next few months, knowing that I wasn't going to be able to be out on the field. I wasn't going to have that brotherhood with my teammates. I was going to miss out on so much of what makes me happy. What was I going to do? And that was the scary part of it, but that was also the exciting part, because I knew I had a big challenge ahead of myself that I had to answer, and I knew I was going to answer.
Not everyone understands how grueling a rehab is,
Yeah.
so I almost want to break it down for them. What were the milestones for you physically? Was there an exercise that you wanted to get to, a movement that you wanted
Yeah.
to have? Like, give me some of those moments that you remember from rehab.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, having the training staff we have in medicine, I was able to take the cast off immediately. I mean, the next day or so, and look at my leg. But then after that, it was about walking. Before walking, actually, it was about wiggling my toes. I actually used to have the trainers or my girlfriend tap each toe, and I'd close my eyes and try to figure out which toe they were tapping because I couldn't feel it. When I was finally getting that right, it was about walking. Then it was about picking up marbles with your toe and picking up the cough drops and picking them up and not missing the cup. to then it was just simply about when will I be able to jog, when will I be able to run. And the moment that those little steps came, I knew it was game changing. That at that point I was just going to roll whatever it was that was in front of me. I was going to knock it down.
What's it like to know that there was a time when you couldn't even feel your toes? You didn't know which toe someone was touching, to now being able to be on a practice field and even be preparing for a regular season?
Yeah, it's incredible, but it's just trusting the process of the dark days of guessing big toe, and it's like, no, it's third toe, and you're just like, why can't I feel my foot? Will I ever have this feeling back? Will my foot ever work the same? To now, back out here doing everything that I was doing before, it's just incredible, and I think it's just a testament to trusting the process, trusting the experts, and believing in my faith.
You've mentioned that Alex Smith was a big inspiration for you.
Sure.
The same day that you were injured was the day that he came back from his 17 surgeries, that infection that was life-threatening. How would you describe the impact that watching his comeback had on yours?
Oh, it was huge. It was huge. Obviously, as I said, I was in the locker room watching him take the field on Andy Dalton's iPad, the same game that I went and got hurt in. So for later that night and when I woke up from surgery, to know that I had just watched somebody full circle come back from something actually way worse than what mine was because of the infection, was somebody's already done it. So it just made the process and the faith seem that more attainable, as that Alex Smith has already done it, did it with a great attitude, and just knew that I could get through it as well because he had.
Who are some of the people maybe unexpected you hadn't heard from before that reached out and were just encouraging during that time?
Oh, there was tons. I would be remiss if I mentioned some without mentioning them all, but from NFL guys all across the league, had never spoke before, to obviously my friends, my family, old teammates, to celebrities I had never met, to just obviously the great fan base that we had pouring their love into me. I was so appreciative of it, and I just knew that I had so many people behind me wanting me to get through it and pushing me to get through it, that it just made it all that easier.
When you look at your scar now, what do you think?
It looks good. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's about trying to figure out which tattoos I want to get on it or around it. And first it was a smiley face, and then I had a second surgery, so then it turned into a wishbone. Now I don't know what I'm going to get, but it's exciting. It's a reminder of the grueling rehab and that moment on the field of picking my leg up and just realizing that my season was over with. It allows me to not take anything for granted. During hard times and things I go through now, I'll just look at it to remind myself as it's nothing compared to this right now.
I feel like some people would look at a scar and see devastation, but you're the type of person that would look at it and see healing.
I definitely do. I see healing, I see growth, I see faith, triumphing everything. And I actually said I was just going to get the emoji praying hands next to it, and I was going to get it right before the season, but I was scared the tape and all that, it would just rub off, so I didn't. But yeah, I mean, I see it as a blessing. I see it as a blessing because I said I know I became a better person, I'm a better man and a better football player because of it, and because I answered the challenge the right way.
So can I see your scar?
Yeah. Which one? I've got two. So.
Let's see both of them.
Yeah, so I've got two. Obviously, this one is where the bone broke through. And this little part right here is where the bone was out. And then on the outside is just actually scar up pretty good, I think. It just kind of all the way from here to there. Still got a little tape on me from running, so edit that out of there. This tape never comes off. You're an athlete, you understand.
I totally understand. You always have to be taped up.
Yeah.
I mean, every time you look down, you see it. Where would you get the tattoo then? We talked about the praying hands.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was going to get the praying hands there, but as much as I get taped up and stuff, I thought it would rub off. But, I mean, I don't know. I've got a lot of ideas of tattoos and things that I want, and I think next I'm going to go on my leg. So it's just a matter of bracing up and dealing with the pain.
Obviously, while the injury was happening and you're rehabbing, you're having to also go through a negotiation process, and all of the banter surrounding it mentioned the fact that people felt like you gambled with your career, and you hate that notion.
I do.
Why do you hate the notion that people assumed you were gambling with your career as a Cowboy?
Yeah, because when I signed the franchise tag, I mean, I've said it before, it was a raise from what I was making in the time before. So And I've always believed in myself. When you believe in something, it's not gambling. It's knowing that everything that you've invested, you're going to get the return. And I've just known that everything that I put into this game, everything that I put into the team, to this organization, I was going to get it in return. Whether it meant going through an ankle break or not, that stay committed to that, don't change or don't waver my thought process or my faith because of it. And sure enough, take care of the things that I can control, and the others will, and that's what happened.
I remember you said there was never a doubt in your mind that you were going to be a Cowboy for life.
Yeah.
What gave you that type of faith?
I mean, my mom left me with the word faith. Sometimes I don't even understand why my faith is so strong and why I never waver or why I ever question, but in the same midst of that, I've got experiences of believing and sticking to it and watching the whole process flip upside down. I'm a big believer of their seasons of adversity, their seasons of triumph, and you don't quit and you don't stop in the middle of those adversities because you know the time's going to change, time's going to pass, and when you do that, when you stay committed to the plan, time flies and you look up and you're back doing the things that you love and back being a part of everything that matters.
Mm-hmm. You've dealt with so many seasons of difficulty. You mentioned your mom, but as you're rehabbing from the injury, you're also having to deal with still grieving the loss of your brother. How would you describe who Jace Prescott was?
Yeah, Jace was my best friend. A teddy bear, a big teddy bear, one of the most athletic, if not the most athletic person I've ever met in my life. He was an introvert, and obviously that played a part probably in him taking his life. But he was an incredible person, incredible man, somebody that I look up to, somebody that I think about daily. When things seem hard, when things seem depressing, I think about my brother, and I think about his smiling face, his laughs, the language that we created together, and all the great memories that he left us.
Mm-hmm. You wrote after you found out that he had taken his life, a life lost to save millions. What does that mean to you?
That at the time, I mean, I didn't know my brother was going through the pain and everything that he was going through. And so obviously I'm one of those that has to take a positive from something. I don't necessarily look and ask why did this happen or what was the reason for it happen. I'm going to make my own reason. And as I said then, it's important for me to use my platform, to use my talent that God blessed me with, to make sure that others know it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to know, for others to know that you're not okay. It's okay to not be okay. And it's important for us to express that. It's important for us to let the man or the woman next to us know the pain that we're dealing with so they can help us get through it or create a village around us to help us get through it. And that's exactly what I meant when I wrote that.
Mm-hmm. You're 28 years old, and even though you've lost your mother to cancer, you lost your brother to suicide, you've dedicated now yourself to mental health awareness. You're an advocate. You've dedicated yourself to giving back to cancer research. What gives you the courage to pour yourself into the illnesses that have taken family members away from you?
Yes, maybe that's why God gave me this platform. It's strictly for that. Is He gave me this talent, He gave me this platform to be vulnerable, to let everybody know that what pain they're going through is temporary. It's temporary in a sense, and that believe in Him, trust in Him, trust in the people around you, have faith and know that nothing is too big with family and with friends and with the supporters around. And I don't take anything for granted. And I've looked around and wonder why sometimes life isn't the same or isn't fair for others. But it's not for me to find those answers out. It's for me to take the cards that I was dealt and to play them the right way. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. You said one of your greatest strengths as a quarterback and as a man is your perspective. Yeah. So what is Dak Prescott's perspective on life?
My perspective on life is we're all here for one another. It doesn't matter what talent we have. It doesn't matter how much money we make, what materialistic things that we have. We're all here to help each other get through this life, to be a helping hand. That is our only obligation, is to serve and to serve one another the best that we can. And that's, as I said, if that's the whole reason that I'm in this position, the whole reason I'm a quarterback and the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, I'm fine with that.
All right, let's talk about those boys. Let's talk about it, because when I'm looking at rosters, I'm going back and looking at highlights, and the weapons you guys have on offense they have to make you sleep a little bit easier as a quarterback. I mean, when you look at what's available to you, all the toys, what comes to mind?
Is how do I make them all happy? Can we make enough touchdowns for each of them? But that's the great part about having the type of weapons that we have is there's no ego within them. These are all great individuals that care about the team's success. And with all the talent that they have, they want to use it to help the next man be his best. And that's the most exciting part about it, and that's why I sleep easy, is I know that when I pitch it out to Zeke or when I throw it on the screen to Amari, the other 10 guys on the field are going to do everything they can to make sure that guy has success.
You bring up Zeke, and obviously the quarterback and running back relationship is close on most teams. It seems like your bond is a little unique. How would you describe it?
I mean, best friends. We came into this league together. I was 23, he was 21. I used to tell him how big of a difference the 2 years was, and it wasn't until now that we're 28 and 26 that he gives me the credit for being a little bit elder than him. But it's like having a little brother. I've never had a little brother, but in a sense, that's what it's like, and it's fun. We share a lot of the same hobbies, a lot of the same just interest, and so it just allows for off the field to be easier. And then when we have that relationship and we come out here, we're going to do whatever we have to for the other man.
I saw you got you a suitcase for your birthday. What's your plan on getting him for his birthday?
Well, I got him a chain, or a little wrist bracelet. Yeah, baguette. Took care of him. Yeah.
Okay, and you say he's a little brother. What have you taught him over the years? What would you say you've taught him?
I hope I've taught him just how to be wise, how to see things from a different perspective sometimes. And that's why I was telling him for so many years the difference between 2 years that we had is life comes and life comes fast. And sometimes you have to step back and you have to look at it from a different lens than what you have, whether it's making yourself older or younger for the moment. But I hope I've taught him how to be wiser.
As the quarterback and obviously a leader on this team, you've been through going into your 6th season. You know how it feels in the offseason. Where would you say the focus of this team is? What have you noticed about this team during the offseason?
Yeah, is that we're holding each other accountable. Just point blank, we've got so much talent, we've got so much ability, but we know it doesn't mean anything if we don't play as one, if we don't play as a band of brothers. And that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're hanging our hat on, is not only an offense but a defense and a special teams from coaches, players, and everybody within the organization.
Okay, a team that was 7-9 won the NFC East last season. Do you feel the pressure, I don't know, the expectation, is that lingering out there, the goal that you guys have set for yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, I feel that every day because I put it on myself. I wake up and that's one of the first things that go through my mind is what can this team accomplish and how do we go accomplish that? And we know that's to start off by being the division champions. And then from there we get into the tournament and then anything can happen. So that's the main goal and that's what this team focuses on.
When you have your helmet on and you're running out of that tunnel in Tampa and you're getting ready to play your first game in almost a year, how do you think you would describe that feeling?
Exciting. Exciting in a sense. It might be a little emotional. Obviously, I'm going to visualize that moment time and time again to make sure that it's not a too high or too low of a moment. But thankful and full of just appreciation and gratitude from everybody around me, from the doctors to the training staff to my teammates, to my family, to my friends, to the fans, to everyone that's been a helping hand and helping me get through the adversity that I've been through in the past 11 months to get to that moment, and to get to that moment feeling free, feeling confident, feeling like a better player and a better person than I've ever been before. That
first throw, that first hit,
oh yeah,
that first touchdown.
For sure.
What do you expect to be feeling in those moments?
Excitement. Just that everything is paid off. I've trusted the process and I'm going to reap the rewards because of it. And I'm excited for all of those things, to be hit for the first time, for that first throw to be completed, and for us to be celebrating after that first touchdown, whatever it may be. That's just the process paying off.
Well, of course you don't waste any time. You get to play the Super Bowl champion in Tampa. You get to go against a guy named Tom Brady, who's only won 7 championships. Yeah. Did you grow up at all a Brady fan? I know you were a Cowboys fan, but were you also a Tom Brady fan?
I actually wasn't. I was a Peyton Manning fan, and because of that, you dislike Tom Brady. But it wasn't until that I got into college and realized what Tom was doing. And the discipline, the focus, everything that it takes for him to be the champion that he is, that then I became a huge fan of him. Then obviously over the past few years of him switching teams and his personality coming out and seeing how much of a great teammate he is, it allows me to idolize somebody and to idolize one of the best to ever do it. So it's great to start the season off and have a chance to go beat him and his team.
Have you had any time to talk to him or spend any time with him?
No, I haven't.
All right, well, you see him in Tampa, I guess.
Yeah, see him after the win.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.